Welcome to the GCN Tech Show, and this week we're not talking about new products. We've not got an edgy talking point where fisticuffs could well get involved. Instead, we're having a vote-off. Think of it as the Oscars or the Golden Globes of cycling.
And the great news is that it is you who will be deciding the winners of each of our categories. We've got 2 polls for each, one of which is here on YouTube. You'll see a link at the end of each category to that. But there's also one over on the GCN app, and you'll find links to that beneath this video. Speaking of the app, actually, John, those of you who live in Liechtenstein, Austria, Switzerland or Germany can now download it, which means it's worldwide. So thank you very much for your patience over there. Your feedback would be very much welcome. Right, shall we get on with the categories?
Let's do it, mate. Let's start then with our first category, New Bike of the Year for 2019. And we have seen plenty of new releases, not quite as many aero road bikes as last year, but hey, we've narrowed it down to 5 of the very finest. And best of all, you get to decide on who exactly is going to win. It's very cool and interactive, this.
It is, it's very interactive.
Yeah.
Right, the first of those 5 is the Colnago 87.
I'm glad you said that, not me.
That's my best effort. That means 87, of course, in Italian. And the reason for that is because Colnago produced this very special bike to celebrate their founder, Ernesto Colnago's 87th birthday. And it is quite a special bike, John, isn't it? It's got a special price tag of €50,000 and it's gold plated. Although I think I'd want it to be gold full stop for that price tag.
Yeah, it's a nice looking bike though, isn't it? It's the sort of thing that Mr. T would ride himself, B.A. Baracus.
I don't know if I'd ride that thing at all. That would be somewhere locked up if I owned it.
Definitely, yeah. And you're not 87 either. Right, also, let's move on then to the next nomination, and that was the new range of the Eddy Merckx My Corsa bikes. We saw this released during the Champs-Élysées stage, the final stage of this year's Tour de France, where Oliver Naesen took to the streets on it. And well, it was an absolute beauty, wasn't it? White and gold, a lovely looking bike.
It's stunning. It looks really classy, a lovely combination of retro and modern. I really did like that when I saw it towards the end of the Tour de France. So that's number 2. Number 3 is the Officina Battaglia Arena 1981. Another stunning piece of craftsmanship, this one. Another steel bike, in fact, John.
Yeah.
Columbus SL seems to be making somewhat of a comeback in 2019.
Yes, lots to be said for that. Now, this frame set was actually produced to celebrate the 38th anniversary of Giovanni Battaglia's victory of the 1981 Giro d'Italia, where it finished inside of the Verona Arena, an ancient gladiatorial amphitheatre, I've been told.
I thought it was a funny anniversary to celebrate the 38th. Although I guess he'll be thinking he gets one for every year now. It's like anniversaries, isn't it? First 15 years is a different gift for every single year.
Where are you up to?
I'm up to 13 with Lorraine, and I think it was lace for the last one, so I got some Adidas Gazelles, of course. Next one's ivory for the 14th, so I think we'll skip that one.
Nobody likes a poacher, do they?
15th is crystal, which could prove expensive. Although I get some Cristal champagne, which will still be expensive. But anyway, we shall move on to a track bike, actually.
Yeah, so away from those sort of retro steel feel of those bicycles, we've got the Hope HB.T bike. So it's like nothing we've ever seen before, is it? Let's face it. We've got super wide forks, super wide seat stays, 3D titanium printed parts from engineering company Renishaw, and also Lotus. Well, they've been involved with it too. It's absolutely beautiful, that.
It's a nice bike. What I like most about this bike is that it shows that innovation can still be made in cycling within the UCI rules and confines, which is great stuff. Very cutting edge, I think you'll agree. And in fact, the 5th and final bike for the New Bike of the Year category is also from the track. It's the new one from Pinarello. I think you say Mutt.
I'm not going to disagree.
M-A-T. Anyway, this one again looks very fast, and I'm sure it will be very fast, John, because it'll be ridden by the likes of Filippo Ganna and Elia Viviani at the Tokyo Olympics next year. Yeah,
mean, aggressive, that is more what I thought we'd see. Well, I thought we'd see more bikes looking like this being released, aero road bikes this year, but we've not seen as many as a couple of years ago, where that was all we were having released for us.
Well, maybe we'll see a flurry of them that take after the Lotus one. We'll see in 2020, won't we? Right, those are your 5 bikes to choose from. As I mentioned, you can find a poll on screen right now, or you can find it in the first link just below this video.
Cha-ching.
Next up, we have screw riding upgrades, buy upgrades of the year. We've had so many brilliant ones sent in to us over the course of 2019. It has been quite hard to narrow it down to just 5, but we've done that. I'm sure there's a few people out there that would have liked to have bribed us to get theirs into the top 5, but we're not easily bribed, John, are we?
I don't know. Well, I am. Anyway, right, let's go on then to the first contender. And actually, it just be pointed out that there is an actual prize to be awarded, and it's a very fine trophy.
Yes, John has just shown it to me. It looks amazing. We're currently in negotiations with the eBay seller, aren't we?
Yeah, we are, yeah.
Down from $750 to $650.
That's right, and if we can get it delivered by Christmas. Right, okay, well, the first nomination is actually Fred from New Jersey, and I remember this one very fondly because I like tinkering around with electronics myself. Now, Fred wanted a smart trainer, but didn't want to waste a perfectly fine existing product. So he did some wizardry, added Bluetooth, added an Ant Plus resistance control unit, and made it compatible with Zwift and his own iPhone app. It worked so well, Fred also did the same to his rollers.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Some people are just too clever for their own good, John, aren't
Yeah,
they?
no one likes a smart ass, do they?
No, which is why not many people like me. Not that I can do that, I can just be a bit arrogant sometimes. Anyway, moving on, from this one from Thomas in Bairnsdale in Australia, who was able to construct this, well, pretty sweet cyclocross rig, which was originally a Shogun Metro bike. This is roughly what it would have looked like originally, a kind of hybrid. It hasn't got a picture of the original bike, but that's as close as you could get to it. And this is the finished item. Quite the transformation, really.
Yeah, lots of seat posts.
There is a lot of seat post, yeah. There's almost as much seat post as seat pin. That's the same thing. There's almost as much seat post as seat tube.
Yeah, that's the one. Oh, it's nice, that, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it's certainly an upgrade from the original one, that's for sure.
Yeah, you also quite like the exercise bike in the background,
didn't you?
Take
a look at that.
I think that's what you were looking at.
One of the most retro indoor trainers I have seen in a long time. That's got to be from circa 1962, I reckon.
Pretty precise there, Dan.
I mean, if you want to take that into consideration when you're voting later on, please, by all means, do so.
Yeah. And of course, we couldn't leave out Cameron from Victoria Park in Bath.
Blimey, that's local.
Yeah, that is literally a stone's throw. I reckon we could probably reach it. We should have a go after this. See if we can reach the park. Now we turned a £230 eBay bargain, the Trek Speed concept, into a modern-looking aero bike for a fraction of the cost.
Oh wow.
Yeah. That impressed us.
That's an aggressive-looking machine, that, isn't it? He hasn't cut the fork steerer just yet, though, but still quite the upgrade from what that was originally. We're now going to go to the Southern Hemisphere, though, and to Cape Town to be precise, with Tio. This was his giant TCR that started to look a little bit tired, so he gave it a spruce up and a pretty bling paint job, a flip-style paint job. And the cheeky stones, I even put it by the poolside to show it off even more, and perhaps just to show off his pool in his back garden.
All right, for some, isn't it? I do like a bit of flip paint. And then the final contender is Jeff from Duluth in Minnesota, USA. Apologies as well that Dan and I haven't done any accents for this section, but neither of us are any good.
No.
Are we?
Well, neither's Ollie, but he still does them, but we're going to refrain.
All right, now this year we had loads of flat bar to drop bar conversions. So many, in fact, I decided to do a series on turning an old garbage mountain bike into something more suitable for us lot, really, on GCN Tech with some drop bars. And anyway, this one here, like I say, it's Jeff's, and it's specialised hard rock that he got from Craigslist, was repainted, and quite frankly, the transformation was amazing.
Wow, that's a nice looking upgrade, isn't it? Except
Very nice.
perhaps for the rear fender.
Yeah,
there.
not really a fan of fenders, not like that, but hey, keeps his bottom dry.
But the rest of it, I think it looks really, really nice indeed. It's quite amazing, really, how, in contrast, the bigger modern stuff is, like the STIs versus the smaller steel tubing of the original frame, really, isn't it?
Yeah, they are big old levers.
Yeah, they are. Anyway, those are your 5 for this category. As ever, you can vote in the poll that's on the screen or over on the app. Link to that in the description below.
The final category, and probably the most prestigious of all, Dan, because there's another trophy to be won, and well, actually trying to narrow it down is not an easy job. And in fact, I didn't want to be responsible for this. So instead, I actually compiled all of the Super Nices this year. I did quite a lot of work behind the scenes, and then the ones with the most amount of votes on them, well, they got through, and here is the shortlist indeed.
Oh, so they all are worthy contenders for this final 5. Good to get that disclaimer out of the way then. Don't blame us.
Blame yourselves. Right, the first one then is Paul from Hong Kong with this bespoke titanium frame from Titan Cycles in China.
Which has that classic horizontal or flat top tube and stem. It's got an MV4, mechanical Dura-Ace, Hunt carbon wheels, 3T finishing kit and an AX saddle. And to top the whole thing off, John, on his top tube, he's got his children's names etched.
Yeah, no, Paul didn't send us any photos of that, so he.
Oh right,
yeah,
so no proof.
No, don't have any proof. Just trying to pull the old heartstrings there.
If you wanted to be the ultimate cycling geek, you could just call one of your kids Dura-Ace, couldn't you? And then you've got the name already there for you.
Moving on then, Dan. Let's go on to the next contender. And it was Sean from California and that Colnago Arabesque. I mean, this one didn't necessarily match everything that we look for, such as, you know, must have all of the wheels included and a nice clean backdrop, but just goes to show it's not always about those fine details.
Yeah, again, don't blame us. It's you lot that voted the most for this bike, or these top 5. Next up, we have this one from Dean over in Brisbane, which is the Viglia 110 Pro with the Ramato finish. A fine-looking bike when it came out a couple of years ago, and a fine-looking bike still in 2019, I think you'll agree. Although, and not wanting to knock somebody again, a few filters going on with that photo, aren't there?
Yeah, I do like a bit of vignette, but that's like looking through the keyhole, isn't it? Something I'm not very familiar with.
Yeah, still a lovely looking bike.
Yeah, and then we've got Holger from Odenwald, which is near Hirschgorn and Heidelberg in Germany. And this is Holger's De Rosa SK Pininfarina Luxury Edition. And tell you what, that looks luxury, doesn't it?
It does. That is an amazing looking bike. And I, for one, am very glad to see De Rosa back in the World Tour next year with Cofidis.
Same here. Give me one of those, Dan. Yeah.
Nice one. Nice one, De Rosa.
We're not too old to do that, are we?
We are,
okay,
Joe, as we are too old to do most things, but we'll carry on regardless. The final one to vote on in this, the final category, is from Tom Holm 11, and this is that Trek Madon that got knocked over. Let's relive the moment.
Yeah.
Oh, you knocked my bike over.
Still love that. Basically, it was a super nice bike, wasn't it? We're not sure if it was still super nice after that fall. Might have
just broken.
Yeah. I love the horse. Runs away like a naughty little schoolboy.
Yeah.
You're not going to catch me after that.
Wasn't me, sir.
No, exactly. So those are your 5 choices for that category. Are you going to ring the bell?
Do you know what? I think I might just give it a quick ring.
Go on.
Just for old time's sake.
Yeah, I always hear that in the other sets. Anyway, cast your vote on the screen right now. Or just as a reminder, they're over on the app. In fact, they're all in the one handy place. If you scroll across the top of the app to shows and click on the GCN Tech show, you'll find all the polls right there in the same place.
Nice and simple. Even we can do it.
Yes, exactly.
Right, I hope you've enjoyed the tech nominations for this year. There's been some absolute crackers in there, and well, in fact, 2 lucky viewers are even going to win a prize.
When are the results going to be read out?
They are going to be out in 2 weeks' time.
In 2 weeks' time. I'm sure the people nominated cannot wait for the results of that.
Boxing Day, in fact, Dan.
Is it?
It's Boxing Day, yeah.
Well, what a great day to do it.
Yeah.
Right, if you've enjoyed this video, then please give it a thumbs up. And if you would like to support GCN Tech, please subscribe to us if you haven't done so already. And next to the subscribe button, you'll find a little bell icon. If you click on that, it means you'll be notified every time we upload a new video. Speaking of videos, we're going to hand to another one now. We've talked about a few retro bikes at the start of this show, these retro modern bikes. But if you want a true retro one from exactly 20 years ago, Ollie went to the Colnago headquarters in Italy and took a look at Andrea Taffy's Paris-Roubaix winning bike from 1999.
What a beauty.
It's just down here.